How's it going, everyone? This is the Mad Daddy Moonshine channel, and I am the Mad Daddy. I wanted to make a video expressing just the painstaking process of making labels, especially custom labels, and putting them on bottles, packaging the bottles, and shipping them out. It's actually kind of a pain in the ass. And I really hope you appreciate it. There's going to be a small segment of me on the computer, or my computer screen, and then you'll start seeing me, outside and the nice fresh air, because it is still gorgeous out today. And I hope you like it. So here we go. Kind of grew to this. These are raw labels that I can pliers. Back it off about 1/8 of an inch. Give it a couple more turns. About 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. Fold it down. And air it up. So here's just some files that I started when I started making custom labels. Before I was just using easy template like this. This is similar to this. It kind of grew to this. These are raw labels that I can use for as templates, and then these here are the clear labels. This, and you'll see what this gets printed on. Those get put on the back, and then this is what's printed on the back of the main label that's on the front from the template here. So how do I get through this? How do I do this? Okay, well, go to see, was it working labels? No, these are finished. So these are just some examples of some of the labels that I've made. So I always open these in Paint, because it's a simple program. I know other people are going to be like, oh, but there's so much better ones you can use. You can AI that and do all kinds of cool stuff with your label. I'm not interested in that. But you can see here's there's one for Henry, and I try to overlap. Can't really see the cursor very well. Try to overlap these just a little on the lines. A little bit more custom, takes a little bit more time, but once a label is made, it's saved, so I can reuse them. But let's just take a template, personal labels. So let's go with see which one was really. I think I resized all of these already, because I asked people to, give me, I think all of these are resized, but basically after trimming all of the outside, especially on the top and the bottom right here, of any imperfections in the white, because even though it looks perfectly white, when I copy it here and put it over the template, a lot of times they aren't. See, and that's something that, is unacceptable. So let's get rid of there. And this is what I do. I'll extend out the side temporarily, paste it, and then I'll do a transparent selection. Sometimes, and I'll do this over here because there's a couple other things that I want to do. And then just kind of line it up nice and neat. And that's how that goes. Then I'll put in some lettering on the sides. Just say Miss Reaper. I'm not saving any of this, so this is just so that there's an example Then I'll just rotate this 90 degrees this way. Line it up over here. Copy it. Bring this one over on this side and rotate it 180 degrees. And then I'll put this over on this side, make sure it's all nice and lined up. And that's pretty much it. And then I'll do the same with these. This 160 proof, that doesn't need to be changed. The date of birth, obviously, that's going to be changed frequently. What type of, release I want on it, whatever I want to put here, I can put here. But that's pretty much how that goes. So once I get that all done, so let's get rid of this. No, I don't want to save that. So once I get all that done, I'll put it into I'll print this out. So this is a good one. Here's one of the latest ones, and again, I always open them in Paint. I always print from here as well, because it's just if I don't print in Paint, it doesn't size up correctly. So I always have to print from here. It is a beautiful day out today, so I thought, you know what, why not just do this outside? A little bit more room. I brought my portable desk right here, and I have everything with me to show you how much it takes for me to just do a damn label. The first thing I do is fill the bottle. This is 160 proof, and there is a born on date on the label, but I always fill it to the top of a resting cork right there. So that way I know every single bottle is filled exactly the same. Now, I have to secure this because just the slightest bump, it's going to go everywhere if you're not paying attention. What I do about that is add a strand of copper wire. I have my cutting board that I've had for years here. You probably can't see it that well. It's numbered. It's very useful. This is what I do all my cutting on with my X-Acto, but we'll get to that. So what I do is measure this out 7.5 inches. Cut it here. I wrap it from the front. This is the front right here. This is the back, and I'll explain why I do that in a second. Let's get a little bit of a bend in here. I'm going to route it from the inside out through these little loops. And yeah, it's probably best you get a pair of wire cutters or pliers to take this copper wire off. It is fairly strong for copper. Now, going to pull this through. And pull it over the top of the corking wire, like that. I pull it over the top. Get a really good, nice, snug fit on that. Equal on both sides. And while pressing this in, I'll put this side under this side. Squeeze those on. Really nice and secure. And this right here is the first twist. So once I have that first twist in there, take my pliers, Back it off about 1/8 of an inch. Just give it a couple more turns. Oop. Like that. Now, that's how it looks. Then, I push the knot flat down against the bottle, and then the excess goes underneath right there on both sides, so that they're not protruding out. And that looks pretty good. That's a pretty good one. And then give it a little test. Yep, not coming off. All right. I've made this mistake before. I've actually put labels on the bottles before I fill them. If there's any kind of splash that gets onto the label, it can damage it. So that's why I do it this way. I'm gonna get a towel to lay across here, and I'll be right back. Matter of fact, shit, I got one right here. I'm gonna put this bottle down here for a second and get a nice fluffy towel. Lay it across my workspace here. The first label I'm going to put on is going to be the back label. Remember, that's the front, that's the back. The back is the one with the knot. So I'm going to lay this with the back facing up, and if you see very, very closely, there's a line in the glass from the manufacturing. That's the line that I'm going to follow. It's on both sides, and it's very consistent with front to back. That's why I like this thing. Really good bottle. I'm going to follow this line and put the back label on. The back labels are printed on a clear sheet. So the white portion right here peels off, and it's just a clear sticker. Just cut them out by hand with a pair of scissors. I don't like using the cutting board for this kind of thing because sometimes the line is off. Here's a label right here. I'm just going to take this last little bit off. Now, this is kind of a pain in the ass, and I like using an X-Acto knife. I need a new one really bad. This one's pretty dull, or I'll just try to sharpen it. These kind of suck. You have to take the corner, and I'm facing this towards me. I'm doing this face up. I'm doing the upper left corner so that it's facing the correct direction. When I lay it down, like I said, these can be a real pain in the ass. Okay, there's the rear clear label, and I'm going to line the bottom of this up along that manufacturer line, right at the center of the bottle. Not sure if you give a shit about seeing that, but whatever. Alright. And we have our rear label on there. Now what I'm going to do is flip it front side up. So I'm going to put on School of Athens. This is going to be his bottle, and I just need to finish cutting it out really quick. Give me a second here. There we go. With the back print. What I have here is just a basic multi-purpose spray adhesive. I'm going to give it a couple of squirts here. Make sure it's atomizing well, which right now it's not. So I'm going to clean this nozzle really quick. So I clean the nozzle so it lets out a nice atomized mist. And take my forceps. I'm going to clamp it down on the bottom left corner right here. Just barely. And since I do this outside, I'm used to the breeze, and it's going in that direction right now. So I'm just going to spray this really nice fine mist. And let it sit there for just a minute. Let it get tacky. I don't want it to slide. Then I just line it up to the bottle. About 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. Let go of it with forceps. And just press it in. Just like that. But we're not done yet. Now what I need to do, since we got the back label, and you can see the print on the back, on the front, on the back of the front label. And then we got the front label. Now we need to protect the front label. I'm going to set this back down on the towel so it doesn't roll away. The laminate that I have for the front label comes in. It comes in sheets like this. And the cutting board you saw underneath, I'll take the, since it's easier to measure off of that, and there's no real good lines because these don't line up, the ones on the back don't line up exactly where I need them. I set it on the cutting board here, and I will measure out 3 inches by 5 inches. 3 by 5. And lucky for you, I already have one cut out. Put my work area back where I had it. So this is the fun part, because it needs to be very exact. This only overlaps about barely 1/8 of an inch larger than the actual label. It's actually more it's probably closer to 3/16 of an inch. But it's the same thing as peeling the back sticker. You have to kind of mess up the corner a little bit, get it to separate. Come on. Yeah, I know these things are a pain in the butt. That's kind of why I wanted to do this video, so that you can see the pain in the ass it is. Honestly. Alright, so there's that. A little breeze going there, but it's alright. And then, since I've done this more than a few times, I know exactly where to lay this down to start it. And then once I have that, smooth it out progressively to the other edge. And there you go. Now it is protected. So School of Athens, this is your bottle. So now that we have a bottle all ready to ship out, we got to ship it. Shipping. What these get shipped in are specialized boxes specifically for bottles like this, like wine bottles, tall bottles. So we got a cardboard flat. Fold that in. And I only actually put one strip of tape on this because the place that I go to ship these, they over tape it for me. Even if I tape it up like ridiculous, they always put an extra layer of tape on. They're really good. After I tape up the bottom, I actually write on there, bottom. Not necessarily for you or shipping purposes, but for me. So now I got the box ready to fill. Comes the fun part. This is a bottle bag, and it comes with a pump. Now, when I first got these, I've never used them before. I'd never even seen them before, and I could not for the life of me figure out where to air the damn thing up at, because it is absolutely not labeled. And then after watching videos and messing around with it and getting frustrated as hell and throwing it to the ground and across the room and everything, I figured out right here. So if you're looking at it, you have the overlap is in the back like this, like an envelope, right? Well, right here, right there is where you air it up at. And this is the pump. Get your freaking mind out of the gutter. It's not that kind of pump. It's for this. All right. So, gonna try to. My hands are a little sticky from the adhesive, so I'm able to open that up just enough to get this in. Hold it down and air it up. When it stops squeaking at you, that's when you know it's aired up. Isn't that freaking badass? First time I saw these, I was just like, that is freaking cool. So it'll hold the air. It'll hold the air. It has these valves in them. Thought it was really cool. So now what I'm going to do is, with it opening this way, I'm going to put the bottle in with the label facing out. Nice snug fit. Put the lid over it. Now I could tape this, but I mean it's already a pain in the ass getting this bottle out of here. Before I close this up in here, I will put who it's for. School of Athens. That way I don't have to open the damn thing back up to figure out whose it is. I know where it's going. Slide this in here. And tape it up. I'll take this with the address that I'm given and match the address with the box, and they put it on there, they label it, and it gets shipped out. And that's it. I hope y'all appreciate how much of a pain in the ass it is. I know shipping is a bitch. I don't like shipping because it's very costly, but I've been told by many people that it's worth it, and I appreciate that. I definitely love and appreciate all the support from everyone out there. It really means a lot to me. I think it's what day is it? Let me go check. Okay, I had to make sure of that because I didn't want to give the wrong date. June 5th. June 5th. So next week is National Moonshine Day. I'm not even kidding. When I saw that there was a National Moonshine Day, I was just like, but I'll be live, hanging out and answering any questions that you have in chat. So hopefully I see you then. Love all.